Hello and welcome to another video from CBits Tech. The last video I posted of this was less than a minute long, I think about 25 seconds, and it was because it hadn't been working, and I was going to do a repair video on it, and I turned it on and tested the functions and it was working, and that's the video I posted. It got 1200 views, which is about 4 times what my videos normally get. Maybe I should do shorter videos. But the problem is, I was listening to one of my favourite Minidiscs the other day, and I think it might still be in there. And when I went back, I tried the back button a couple of times, but what it did was it put a track mark on it. Now, the problem was with it, it was non-functional before, then it started working again. I think I know what's causing that. But I think I know what's causing the problem with the buttons. I did try and fix the buttons before on another one had button problems, but it didn't seem to work. So it's only got 3 tracks on it, but sometimes when you press the buttons it doesn't do what you expect it to do, and I've got the same problem with the grey version of it. I think stop button not working, right protects disc before use. Well, I'm not going to do that because I'm just testing it. So let's see what happens. We've got play. Okay, he's thinking about it. There we go, it's playing. I'm going to press stop. Oh, it went forward a track. Let's get it playing properly. Oh, I don't think the button's working properly in this. Let's go forwards. Yeah, you see that? It doesn't go forward. Or sometimes when it goes forward, it does multiple button presses really quickly. Go back. Sorry. I wonder why it says sorry. Okay, this Minidisc player is apologising to me. Okay, the end button is now working. I'm just going to grab a speaker, see if it's actually playing. Right, I'm putting a different disc in. Right, this is another demo disc, so it should have music on it that isn't copyrighted. Yeah, there we go. You can hear that probably. Okay, let's go forwards. Group. Okay, I press forwards, it's giving me group, so something is not right with that. Let's pull the plug on that. Start again. Play. Track 1. And skip forward to track 2. Now when I press, did that group, that folder, did that come on just now? Okay, I don't know why that's coming on. Go forward to track. I think it's trying to group. So I think there's something wrong. I've got to stop. It didn't work. Yeah. Stop button's not working. So the buttons are not functioning correctly. They're giving us different results from what they should. Okay, so I'm going to try and fix this one. I've also got a few other bits to fix. Actually, let's have a quick look at this one. That one feels like it's got battery now. That's bad of me, isn't it? Okay, let's take that out. Put a test disc in. Okay, press play. This is a 505. It's a bit louder, isn't it? There's the volume button. Okay, we'll try and go forwards. Yep, track 2, track 3. It's a bit flaky. Let's go back a track. Back to beginning of track 5. Track 4. Yeah, that seems to be working right. So I press in play, but it's going forwards. And I'll press stop, and it goes forwards. Okay, so there's two things that I think are the problem with these. One is the ribbon cable. I fixed it once before. There's a ribbon cable that goes in through the hinge somewhere underneath the battery door, underneath the top door, and sometimes that needs reseating, maybe cleaning. But what I think is the problem, and since these two are the worst, these are the ones we're going to fix. I think I had this one apart. I can't remember which one I took apart, but the problem is when I undo the screws at the bottom of this to get to the control board, could have been this one, the screw posts where the screws screw into, they're getting brittle with age. So alright, I'm going to have a go at, what one shall I do? Let's have a go at this one. This one is one of my favourite ones. This one, it'd be nice to get it working, but I'm less invested in this one, so let's have a go at fixing this one. Yeah, I just had to check. It was this one I actually tried to fix before, so but I didn't shoot a video on that. So well, I did shoot a video, but I didn't edit it because the fix wasn't successful. So what I'll probably do is, I can't remember, it's so long, it's actually 11 days ago I did that. It's been so long since I made any videos. So what I'm going to do is review that footage after shooting this and before editing it, and then if there's any of that footage that makes sense, I'm going to insert it here. Right, so I was convinced it was the ribbon cable on this that just needed cleaning, but it isn't, so it must be the button assembly again. There we go, set that aside. The flipping thing worked, and these little dome things are what activate the buttons. That getting that laser in your eyeball is going to damage your sight. Does this pop out? Yes, it does. So let's cram this on. Ooh, bits of plastic falling out. That's not a good sign. As I push it down, it pops down, and underneath that it makes a contact. Okay, back to the later video. So it's only 11 days and I can't remember how to undo the damn thing. So let's get this off without breaking it. I can't remember how to do it now. Let's move that out of the way for a second. I have to take the bottom off, I can't remember now. Let's take it off anyway. Now then, if you're doing this as well, I think we've got different screws. So that's the screw I've just done. Let's zoom in a bit. That is the type of screw for the back, and this weird looking thing is the screw for the front. So there's two different screws in here for the back and the front. That's the front, that's the back. Where have they gone? There's one there. Okay. I think you have to be careful of the zoom out a bit. There's a spring in here which I lost ages ago when I took this apart years ago. So I think you have to undo it from this side. So there you go. You can have a quick look at the inside of that. Here is the ribbon cable that we're probably going to have to undo in a minute, and that connector in there is what I cleaned once, and it did repair one Minidisc player. I think it was this one back in the day. But what we need to do now is get it open, take this off. Have I missed a screw or something here? Oh, there we go. And it's held on by that there. So I don't break that, I'm just going to undo it. Shouldn't really have it hanging off there, should I? It's going to fall to the floor. There you go. Now this is the problem I had before. That screw there and that screw there, one of them is okay, one of them was barely hanging on, but there should be screws in lots of different places on this, but the screw posts are broken, so I'll show you that in a second. Just to recap, what I did in the other video was I cleaned off the back of that ribbon cable and the connector it goes into there. And once you've undone all these screws, you can just take the board assembly out. So essentially that metal bit there is where the buttons are. And then the board screws and clamps it into the lid like that. So the whole board is screwed in, holds the button assembly there as well. Now what I did last time, now let me show you a screenshot from SGAM4306. Yeah, so this is the first repair I did back in December 1999. It's 2024 now, so that's 4.5 years. 3,300 views on that. That's one of the most I've had. I've earned a massive £1.45 out of that video. Not going to get rich, am I? Yeah, lots of comments on this one. So there it is, SJM4306. He's a bit of a legend. There'll be a link to his channel up there. And also in the description box, so you can have a look after this video has been watched. So he says, it's been a while since I looked at the N505 service manual, but I believe the front panel buttons use a resistor ladder arrangement that is read by an ADC, analog to digital converter, in the main controller. This is unfortunately super sensitive to dirty contacts, as that changes the measured resistance, causing an incorrect button read. And he talks about the button as well. And there was a further comment about it, about the springs and everything else. And this guy here said, oops, he said that it's impossible to solve the problem because the button contacts are sealed, but I don't think they are. And SJM4306 says the button contacts are just metal snap domes over an exposed ENIG PCB contacts with a bit of tape covering them. Now let's see if we can see that. Okay, so this is the button assembly with the display on it, and you can see there a shiny little piece of plastic that moves when I run a blade over it. So these are the buttons, and you press them, listen up. So that's the fast forward button, and once you press it, I believe that white bit there, and actually this bit around it and something underneath that cap makes contact. And see all these little resistors? I believe they're resistors there. That might be a resistor connected there. And when you press this down, a current goes through there, and when you press this one specifically, it has a specific resistance that then goes off to probably not that's for the display, but to the button controller. And the higher or lower that resistance is what determines whether it's the fast forward button, the rewind button, the play button, or the stop button, or any of the other buttons. But these little caps, I'm going to see if I can lift this up. There we go. So you can see me lifting that plastic up now, and these caps actually move. So those caps are held on by this plastic tape. I've never done this before, but I'm now going to attempt to get that plastic tape off. I think dirt in between that plastic cap and the circuit board is affecting how much resistance there is when these make contact, when the buttons are pressed. And it's that dirty contact and that different resistance that makes the play, I think it's a different button that's being pressed. I don't know how I'm going to do this on camera, because clearly that tape is stuck down. So you think, oh, I'll put some contact cleaner under this, but you're not going to be able to put contact cleaner under it because then it won't be sticky anymore. So I'm going to have a look off the camera because I can't see it otherwise, and then let you know how I get the sticky film up. Okay, here we go. So I put my blade under there, and I just leave it up like that. Oh, look, there's one. Oh, how cool is that? Okay, so the bottom of this cap by the blade makes a contact between that little bit with the cross on it and the bit on the outside, which is the gold contact. And when you push down this cap, it clicks down, makes a contact in the center and around the outside. And it's these contacts that apparently get dirty. I mean, bearing in mind this unit's probably, if it was a 90s unit, we're in 2020s now, 30 years old. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get this up. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. So I'll put the blade under there. Oh, it's really difficult to show you, because although you can see it quite well, the light in here is quite poor. It's just like overhead lighting. So all I did was I twisted this up. I'm going to have to do this off camera because I don't want to break anything. I think I might just stab through it. So let's do this off camera and peel that tape back. And I can't think of a better way of doing this. If we don't like this, it feels like it's going to rip. This is not going to be a sticky once I've had my greasy fingers all over it. Oh God. There's probably like an industry standard way of doing this, but I'm not a trained professional, as you should know by now. Oh my God, it's all coming off. Oh God, I've ripped it. Oh no, there it is. All at once. Right, okay then. Let me get prepared. Right, you know the drill. IPA, cotton bud. I'm just going to clean up this board now. Can you see all right? Yeah, I think you can see all right. Did I do that one already? Oh, there's another one up there I haven't taken off. That's the group one. That was one I think the Minidisc player thought it was being pressed. Okay. Now let's make sure we've got enough IPA. Ooh, look at all those fingerprints. Is I'm likely to take the sticky stuff, the stickiness off of this by doing this. Right, I think we'll go over those again. suppose you've got to do the edges of them as well, haven't you? Because that makes the contact. But if I get the IPA on the plastic, on the sticky strip that they're on, then that will take the stickiness off. Okay, we're going to give that a couple of minutes to dry off, and then we'll connect it back up and see what happens. While we're waiting for that to dry, I'll show you the other part of the board. Look at all those screw posts that are broken. There's only so many times I'm going to be able to take this one apart before those screw posts, all of them have failed, and then we've got no way of screwing it back together again. Right, so let's figure out which way up this goes, and then I can put it back on again. And that's probably it, isn't it? Yeah, that'll be it. Okay. I suppose we'll be putting it down this end first. So I'm looking round the phone here. I'm recording on a phone. I'm looking round the phone. Or I can look at the phone screen, which is a 5.5-inch phone screen, zoomed in 2 times. And if you're watching on anything bigger than a 5.5-inch phone, you can actually see it better than I can. So let's see if we can get that attached in around about the right place. So that one's lined up more or less. If I go to the top one and line that one up, hopefully everything in between will be lined up. It's a little bit over to one side really. I think that's as good as it's going to get there. Just line one of these up here. I think that's pretty close. Maybe, actually that doesn't look too bad, does it? God, it's much worse than it used to be. Okay. There's probably more grease from my fingers under it now than there was dirt before. Right, so let's connect up the cable. These repairs really do stretch my skill levels beyond my skill levels, essentially. I wonder if we can get this to work. I've got a battery. Let's find a battery. Okay. Let's press play. Where's play? There it is, I think. Don't think it's going to work without the case on it. Was that disc spinning? No. I can hear something moving, but I don't think. Oh yeah, there we go. Look, you can see a little bit display there goes out. So this is what happens when you press a button and the lid detect switch isn't closed. You get a very faint display, so there must be a lid detect switch somewhere that's not being depressed. And I can't find it, so I'm just going to put the case on temporarily. Right, I'm not having any luck getting this together temporarily, so I'm going to put it together permanently. So if you're doing this, just make sure that this little switch here goes into the correct place there, so you don't snap it off. So that lines up there. I'll show you where that is. That switch is lined up in there, and the little tabs on the circuit board go in there, so that goes in there. We need to screw this in now. Can't remember which two screw posts were still half intact. I think that's one of them. Yeah, it's just spinning round and round and round now. All this tiny miniaturized technology, and the thing that can make it fail is the screw posts. Right, so we have to put the top on first. Okay, let's have a go at that then. Oh, look what I found. Let's zoom in. Put an extra bit of light on this, hang on. Right. See just here. There you go. This piece of plastic here pushes against that little bit there. That is the lid closed lid, the lid detection switch, the lid closed detection switch. Without that, the player won't fire up. Obviously to protect your eyes against a laser. So, okay, so we've got that on. That's all we need on for that for the time being. Although it does look a bit wonky. There we go, that's better. So I'm going to screw this back in. And the screws we need are these ones, like that shape. Okay, there's only two screws. Let's zoom out a little bit. So that's the lid on. I think that'll be fine. We can test it like that. Let's get those out of the way. Pop a battery in. Pop a disc in. And we'll see what happens. Let's turn this light off. There we go. Is it shut? Yeah, it's shut. Let's press play. I've got some crazy phasing on the camera, so I'm just going to stop the recording and start again. There we go. Unfortunately, I can't shoot during the daytime anymore because I have a 9-to-5 job. And of course, I'm paid to work 9 to 5, not paid to mess about with Minidisc players. I was watching Explaining Computers from explainingcomputers.com, and he had his gold play badge, gold YouTube play badge, which is what you get when you get 1 million subscribers. I'll just press the button then. And it's taken him 16 years to get to 1 million subscribers. I'll be very old by then. Right, I wonder if my speaker is still on. No, let's turn that on. There we go. Let's give this a test. I doubt this will work because I've got... Taking it to pieces makes your hands all dirty, and then you're trying to clean it, and then you're putting your dirty fingers over it again. Let's see what happens. Play. There we go. Can you see it? There we go. Okay. I can't remember what buttons worked before. Let's turn it down a bit. So we're going to go forwards. Okay, so track number goes to number 2, number 3, number 4. Let's go back. Oh, it does. Actually, if I stop it, let's stop it. Oh my God. It did work. If I go forward now, we can see the tracks. That's better. If I go back. Okay, let's play. Volume. Volume. Pause. Pause. Don't really want to put a track mark in there, but sorry. I think it might be saying that because edits. That's good. I don't know what happened there. End. Group. Oh my God, it's actually working. Track mark's not going to work, I think. I'm not going to put a track mark in. My God. So, even though I took that sticky stuff off and got finger grease all over the back of the sticky thing, and then I cleaned up the caps, the little dome caps, with IPA, and then got my fingers all over them again. When I put it back together again, it appears to be working. So, the date today is the 18th of April. This video I might edit this weekend. Actually, we're out this weekend. So, what I'll do is, when I edit this video, I'll put the date down below. And in between now and editing this video, I'm going to use this as my main player, and I'll let you know with a little additional part that I'll shoot in the editing whether this fix has remained a good fix. And if it has, I'll be very pleased, because this is a handy little MD player with MDLP and a tiny little screen and a AA battery. So this is really handy for me to listen to my long play tracks when I'm in the office. It doesn't matter that it's a bit fatter. And it's Type R as well, so it'd be good for recording. So I think these go for about £80 broken on eBay at the moment. So I'm quite happy with that. If I had thought it was actually going to fix it, I'd done a better job at cleaning up the inside of this display before I put it back together. So I think we'll call that a day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next... Oh, one more thing. SJM4306, you are an absolute legend. Thanks very much. See you in the next video.